and welcome again to Not Fake News. I just figured I'd show you a quick picture of George Soros in his early years. And the part you can't see here is him holding the earth like it's his little baby. Okay, there he is in the flesh. I'm sorry, in the metaphorical physical, in the spirit. Yeah, in spirit. Okay, so let's get to the news articles. We got two articles for you. Breaking: top Democrat just exposed who really is behind Trump's leaks. And a California student is suspended for taping professor's anti-Trump act of terrorism rant. Ooh. All right, so breaking from Danny Gold, Liberty Writers. Breaking: top Democrat just exposed who is really behind President Trump's leaks. It's not that often that you get to see a top-tier Democrat coming out to defend President Trump. That is exactly what happened when Congressman Dennis Kunich went on Fox News today. Kunich revealed that the real source of the anti-Trump leaks is the corrupt American intelligence community. Ouch. Wow, is this really freaking bad? I mean, we all knew the CIA hated Trump, but to sabotage the president is beyond disgusting.
So the Department of Justice had reportedly warned the Trump administration that Flynn could be vulnerable to blackmail for his connection to the Russian ambassador. Are you surprised by the resignation? What's your take here?
Well, General Flynn has admitted misleading the vice president, but I think we have to look at this a little bit deeper. A phone call from the incoming Director of National Security was intercepted, and the contents given to the media. And you have to, and so obviously shared by intelligence officials. Now, what's at the core of this is an effort by some in the intelligence community to upend any positive relationship between the U.S. and Russia. And I tell you, there's a marching band and chowder society out there. There's gold in them there hills. There are people trying to separate the U.S. and Russia so that this military-industrial intel axis can cash in.
So is the bigger issue here, in your view, the fact that this was leaked and somebody inside the White House got this news out to the press? What do you say?
Well, look, it's an issue, and the general has admitted in his resignation letter that he misled the vice president.
This is who's behind it.
But the American people have to know that there's a game going on inside the intelligence community where there are those who want to separate the U.S. from Russia in a way that would reignite the Cold War. That's what's at the bottom of all this. It's like, it's early in the morning, it's Valentine's Day, but wake up, America.
Wow.
Congressman, do you think that this fundamentally changes the prospect of a stronger relationship with Russia, or do you think that things can proceed as they have been proceeding, as the president has said he'd like to proceed?
Hey, look, what's going on in the intelligence community with this new president is unprecedented. They're making every effort to upend him. Who knows what the truth is anymore? This is like the electronic version of Mad Magazine, spy versus spy. And so the bottom line is, we should not start a Cold War again with Russia. The American people forked over billions of dollars for the last one and changed the quality of life in this country. There's something wrong going on here in the intelligence community.
So what should Donald Trump do then?
Well, look, first of all, he has to get a hold of his own intelligence apparatus. You know, this isn't a joke. This is a serious matter. If he doesn't get control of where the information's coming from, he'll never know the truth. The American people won't know the truth, and we could be set at war with almost any country. Be very careful is my warning this morning.
Congressman, in the age of WikiLeaks and with, access to information across the board, what really can Trump do right now? I mean, if this administration seems like it's in a tough situation in regards to controlling our national security.
Well, wait, it's not just this administration. I want to remind the viewers and all those who are on the panel that in the closing months of the Obama administration, they put together a deal with Russia to create peace in Syria. A few days later, a military strike in Syria killed 100 Syrian soldiers, and that ended the agreement. What happened is, inside the intelligence and the Pentagon, there was a deliberate effort to sabotage an agreement the White House made. This is like deep state. This is like some kind of a spy novel. But it's real, and the American people have to understand a game is being played with the security of our country.
You know, Congressman, people are having so much trouble understanding what it is that they should be paying attention to. There's so much vitriol, there's so much hate throwing out there, and so we're looking at this, and people are, on one hand, saying the administration is in disarray, they don't know what they're doing. Look at how many mistakes they're making. The national security is at risk. We've got people who shouldn't have security clearance having security clearance. People are lying. What should people be focused on? What, like, looking at all of this, you know, what should viewers be taking away right now?
Well, it's going to be very important that the president tells the truth. You know, we'll be celebrating President's Day soon. One of the presidents we're celebrating is George Washington, who, you know, mythically was said never to have lied, that he in fact chopped down that cherry tree. Well, the fact of the matter is, we need to make sure the White House is communicating clearly to the American people about what's going on. But the question is the president getting the right information? And are there games being played inside the intelligence community to force American policy in a direction that's different than what the White House wants? We need to have closer ties with Russia. We can't be suckers in this, but we cannot also have certain people playing an agenda that separates us from our aspirations for peace between the two major powers in the world.
So is the bigger issue the fact that he even discussed sanctions with his potential counterpart in Russia?
Suffering circumstances.
Or is the bigger issue that he lied to Vice President-elect Pence?
Well, first of all, news reports this morning indicate that one intel official who's secretly sharing his thoughts with the media said that he never talked about lifting sanctions. Who knows? But the bigger issue is that in this moment, that in a conversation with Vice President Pence, he misled the Vice President as to what happened.
It was the cover-up that's worse than the crime. But what you're saying is you're underlining something even bigger, and that is somebody within Trump's White House is trying to sabotage him somehow.
I don't know if it's somebody inside the Trump White House.
But inside our intelligence community.
There's definitely something going on inside the intelligence community to try to undermine this administration. And we better, you know, this isn't about whether you're for or against Donald Trump.
Right.
Hello? This is about whether or not the American people are bystanders in a power play inside the intelligence community, the outcome of which could determine our relationships with Russia and whether or not billions of dollars are going to be spent in a new Cold War.
This guy is an American, this patriot. This guy is awesome.
We know that the head of the CIA...
Now, see, that's a Democrat that Trump needs on his side. You might say, oh, he has Democrats. He's talking with Democrats. Remember in the beginning when he was talking to all the different people? He was talking to thousands of people. Literally thousands. A lot of them you didn't see. The good ones, like this guy, you didn't see. They didn't put that on the news. Because then you look into him, you find out he's awesome. They don't even like him. He's on the Democrats who the Democrats don't like list.
CIA was against Donald Trump before he came into office, the former head of the CIA. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton is taking jabs at Flynn's resignation. It started when a former aide of hers tweeted this: "Dear Mike Flynn and Mike Flynn Jr., what goes around comes around." He then included a link for a job opening at Domino's Pizza.
He did not say what goes around comes around. He said what goes around comments around. And given your pizza obsession, jobs are opening up at Domino's. You know what that means, right? Nice little try there, Foxy Fox. But that's why we're here. Not fake news, right on top of even Fox and Friends, because Fox and Friends, or Fox Business Network, I should say. This is the Fox Business Network. They're great, right? But they like to leave a few things out.
It is a reference to General Flynn's son's tweets regarding the Comet Pizza child trafficking conspiracy.
Okay, let me just back up and take that all back. And next time I'll just shut up.
theory, Hillary Clinton then tweeted herself. Philippe's got his own way of saying things, but he has a point about the real consequences of fake news. Congressman Kucinich, what do you make of this? Do you think Clinton should be weighing in on this?
Well, look, what happened at Comet Pizza, that whole story was a disgrace. I mean, really. I'm not...
This poor guy. She's like, oh, why'd you bring that up?
I'm going to go over the details because it's really not fit for family television. But I will tell you this. This is a much more serious issue. And the White House, whether you're for Trump or against Trump, the White House is under attack from elements inside the intelligence community which are trying to elevate tensions between Russia and the United States, and at the bottom of that is money, is an agenda for somebody to cash in on conflict between the U.S. and Russia at any level.
Oh, snap. Come on, that's pretty deep, guys. That's deep, dude. Okay, let's back this down. Let's go. Anything to say? We don't have to read what he just said, do we? If Kunich is correct, and I have every reason to believe that he is, this could be the biggest scandal in American history. This means that unelected agencies are using their position to sabotage a fairly elected president. The people behind these illegal leaks and wiretaps must be held accountable for treason and punished to the fullest extent of the law. That's going to be huge when that happens, and that is going to happen. Trump will make that happen. I know he will. Think he's going to let that go? Come on. The best shot Americans have of surviving this is for us to stick together with President Trump. And just for the record, if this gentleman, Kucinich is correct, and again, we think he is, if he knows this, you know President Trump knows this too. You know he knows this. Okay, next story. California students suspended for taping professor's anti-Trump act of terrorism rant by Tyler O'Neill from PJ Media. What does it say on there? White supremacist. This is a sign outside of the school. Can you see that? White supremacist and vice president. That is one of the most anti-gay humans in this country, and so we are for a difficult time. But again, I do believe that we can get past this. Our nation is divided. We have been assaulted. It's an act of terrorism. One of the most frightening things for me, and most for. So this is, you cannot silence the truth. This is somebody put a giant. Okay, wait a second here. Professor Cox. This is the guy who's probably the professor who went on the terrorism rant, and somebody might have put that up. I don't know if the school put this up, or if a right-wing activist said, "Hey, we got to, yeah." YouTube screenshot of remarks by psychology professor calling Trump's election an act of terrorism. So it's from the professor, okay? In an Orwellian twist, a student at Orange Coast College, OCC, who filmed his professor's anti-Trump rant was suspended from school, required to meet with the dean of students to request re-entry, and forced to write an apology and a 3-passage essay explaining why he recorded the rant. The negative impacts. See that right there? See what they did? I'm sorry. I pick up on things. He's required to write a 3-passage essay explaining, no, admitting, for court reasons, yes, that's right, why he recorded the rant, so they can use it against him. The negative impacts of this recording and how he will prevent this from happening in the future. The student has appealed the decision. I love the student. That's right, you appealed it. That is right. What? You're getting in trouble, but this psycho's allowed to do a rant in front of a room full of impressionable children? Or students? This is an attack by leftists in academia to protect the expressive rights of their radical instructors at the expense of the expensive rights of Constitution students on campus. Declared by Bill Becker, founder, president, and general counsel of Freedom X, who is representing the student. Becker announced that his organization will file a notice of appeal on Wednesday, arguing that the student's constitutional and legal rights have been violated. Caleb O'Neill, the previously anonymous student, was, and okay, cool, his name is Caleb O'Neill, was notified of his suspension last Thursday, February 9th, on December 9th, 2016. Okay, how old is this and why is it new news? I don't know. This is put out there today, so this must be updated. Published on YouTube. Oh, so he published it on YouTube then, and now he's in trouble. And on the YouTube of Olga Stable Cox, his professor, psychology professor. In the video, Cox called then President-elect Trump a white supremacist, denounced Mike Pence as one of the most anti-gay humans in the country, and called their electoral victory an act of terrorism. She added that they are way beyond Republicans and Democrats. We are really back to being at a civil war.
White supremacist and a vice president that is one of the most anti-gay humans in this country.
Okay, boom. Guilty, arrest her, and take away her pension and throw her in jail. What? There's more? We need more? We need more?
And so we are in for a difficult time.
And I guess this is video is brought to us by Campus Reform.
But again, I do believe that we can get past that. Our nation is divided. We have been assaulted. It's an act of terrorism. One of the most frightening things for me and most people in my life is that the people committing the assault are among us. It is not some stranger from some other country coming in and attacking our sense of what it means to be an American.
No, it's not. It's you, the teacher, right in the room with our children. You're so right, ma'am.
Things that we stand for, and that makes it more painful because I'm sure that all of us as people and our families and our circle of friends that are part of that movement, and it is very difficult. We are way beyond Republicans and Democrats, and we're really back to being a civil war. And I don't mean it in a fighting way, but our nation is divided as clearly as it was in Civil War times. And my hope is that we will get some good leadership to help us to overcome that. I will go over some coping skills, but before I do that, I do want you to know that the optimism in me, first of all, we are the majority. More of us voted to not have that kind of leadership, and we didn't win because of the way our electoral college is set up, but we are the majority, and that's helping me to feel better. I believe that we live in California. It is one of the best states. I have loved that. I love living here, but I'm especially proud of our legislature who did put out a message. I hope you can see it. One of the things I'm doing to cope is to look for positive messages and glimmers of hope. That's the optimist in me. And California legislative leaders did put up.
Okay, it's a college. What a big, beautiful room that is. Let me tell you, she's privileged. And she's really making a fool of herself, and this is terrible.
Did put something, and these are things you can find.
Okay, I just want to say something. The kid who videotaped that is a hero. That's number one. Number two, to all you kids out there who are thinking about doing this, that's fine. You know, but I want to make sure you understand one thing. If you don't have to film it with your video cameras per se, you can film it, but put the phone down. Do not reveal where you're sitting in the room. See, this is the problem that this kid did. He's a great kid, but anyone could figure out who he is from the angle of the camera and to the teacher and to this kid and whatnot. The camera should have been flat on the table, so all you saw was black. And then record this teacher ranting. They won't know who it was in the room. Then secondly, do not tell anyone in the room that it was you. Do not tell anyone that it was you. Just get it on YouTube. And everyone needs to do this. But I don't want you getting in trouble. I don't want you to get suspended. So you put the phone down you record it, and you get the word out. And we stop these psychos from turning our kids into maniacs with lies. And remember who's behind all this. Our good friend George Soros. And say goodbye to George. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already subscribed, and hit the like. Hit the like button if you like what we're doing here at Not Fake News. Like our videos; it's important, and we really appreciate the likes. And thank you. See you next time at Not Fake News. Bye, George.